go. And first things first. What did I learn? Well, over the course of this semester, we had 11 different speakers come and present to us. We had CEOs, lieutenant colonels, lawyers, scientists, social scientists. We had an entire panel of experts and professors with the widest array of specialization, and collectively they provided insight from each area of our 5 systems perspective, which helped us piece together the massive integrated picture that makes up the 2050 Challenge. And on top of all the information they brought to the table, plus the extra insight from the countless in-class discussions we had amongst ourselves, plus all the extra knowledge we gained from our own out-of-class research that we took part in for our group projects, I couldn't even begin to tell you everything I learned in this class in 5 minutes. So I'll just skip the specifics and summarize by saying it was really a lot of stuff. Actually, it was probably more than I've ever learned in a single class throughout my entire undergrad career so far, and I'm a senior, so that's really saying something. Now, I know a lot doesn't give you much to go on, and since this is the final tweet, I thought a good idea to bring things full circle would be to look back at all the other tweets I wrote along the way. So, I compiled all of my previous 11 tweets together, which, let me just say, added up to about 20 pages double-spaced. What? That's crazy. I'm not even joking. Anyway, I read and I reread through each of the tweets, and a few common themes stood out, which I think sum up this class really well. Perception is what dictates action, and knowledge and awareness are the basis for perception. And the most important thing I realized by using my tweets sort of as the stepping stones tracking back through the 2050 class journey is that there are some hugely fundamental disconnects in the way that we tend to view things. And these gaps in perception prevent us from acting, or I guess I should say they prevent us from acting in ways we need to in order to effectively adapt and solve problems and make lasting changes. So, in short, the way we view things affects how we can do things. The 3 most important connections I found from my textbook of tweets, which also reflect the core of the class, were the links between social and individual identity, between emotional and rational appeal, and between scientific and social approaches. These things, I think, tend to be isolated and polarized in our current social systems, but actually they're 2 sides of the same coin. And in order to reconcile and improve the global issues that we're facing now and in our future, they desperately need to be merged. Alright, so knowing that, what does that mean for me personally? How does the synthesis of these 3 dualistic relationships translate into my life and my plan for future change? Sort of like, how have these shifts in perspective stimulated action outside the classroom? Well, let me tell you. The first perspective change, which links social and individual entities together as codependent pieces of a singular, more holistic conception of identity, really encourages me to take on more social responsibility. In all my future endeavors and just general day-to-day life, I'm going to be a lot more involved and engaged in the community, I think. And I tend to be a pretty shy person in the sense that I usually don't like to initiate things, but I feel like this really opens doors for me to be more active. More proactive, I guess. And the second link between rational and emotional appeal really influences the way I'm going to interact with people. I think logical, rational academia is key if we're to understand global issues at hand and if we're going to develop a plan to proceed. But putting the plan into action and actually fixing problems requires a wide-scale effort from everybody, from all people, and there's no doubt about it. And that, I think, can only really be effectively mobilized by eliciting emotions. So I realize not everyone is going to have the same educational and cultural basis that I do. So it's highly unlikely that rationale is going to be the best approach to get through to most people. But regardless of people's views, I think treating people with respect and compassion gains a trust and a familiarity that can allow you to connect with them on an emotional level. And a strong emotional response, as long as it's rooted in a rational framework, is always more meaningful and it's always more effective in generating cooperative efforts. The third juncture between the scientific and social arenas has probably had the biggest personal effect, and it's probably my biggest takeaway from this class. I'm a biology major, so my academic background is very much rooted in science, and I think that's also pretty similar to the trends of today, where science and technological innovation are for sure at the forefront of social progression and problem solving. But as this class has demonstrated, I think, countless times, whether it be through examples like the golden rice incident in the Philippines, or food waste in developed countries, or the causes of global climate change in general, it's really clear that the degree of scientific innovation and application is going to be determined just as much, if not more so, by the social elements. And for me, this realization and newfound appreciation for social factors will definitely make me approach the rest of my academic and my future professional career in a much different way than I have previously. So yeah, and hopefully our education systems and our universities will jump on that bandwagon soon too. But classes like this one are definitely a leap in the right direction.